Howdy partners, it's JD Crouch out here at Serenity Ranch Kennels. I'm here with my buddy Major. We just wanted to visit real quickly about potty training, and we hear a lot of people ask questions about that because we help lots of folks with puppies. We've got a real good line of quality Labradors, and we sell them all over the United States. Here's to make it real simple for you. Now, potty training, I wouldn't use the word easy, but I would say it's very simple. There are 4 simple steps to it that we use out here. First of all, supervision. Secondly, exercise. Number 3 is making sure that you have a scheduled feeding for times for your dogs, and then confinement. So let's talk a little bit about all 3 of those. Supervision. Does that mean that you have to follow your dog around? No, not really, but you don't want to give them free run of your home, that's for sure. Now, here's the way you supervise a puppy. They're real easy to do. They're extremely food motivated. So if you'll just take a portion of their kibble that you're feeding them each day, what I would suggest is you take maybe like 25% of that and put it in a kibble pouch or put it in your pocket, and every time the dog follows you somewhere, just give him a kibble, and only give him like 1 or 2. And if he does something, if he's polite to you and he sits, then give him a kibble. So you're training the dog to simply follow you around, and he's actually supervising you. So, but whenever the time comes and the dog starts to circle or he starts to hide, now you know it's time to go potty. So gather the dog up, take them out immediately to the place in which you want to designate as a potty spot, and then ask them to go ahead and let them loose there and have them to eliminate. Now, if they don't go right away, here's the reason why. It's because we need to condition the dog, and that's where exercise comes in. We see so many times where people say, well, I took my dog out to potty and they never did, or they did, and then I put them back in the crate, and then they made a mistake. Well, that's because you were in too big of a hurry. Here's what you need to do. Take your tennis ball or something that's their favorite toy and play with them while they're out there. After they eliminate, then you praise them and then play with them. What's going to happen is, biologically, whenever they get to go outside, they know they're going to exercise and they're going to have fun. So what do they have to do? They've got to eliminate that waste in order to have fun. It's just like if you go to a Little League baseball game, as an example. My boy Wyatt is 12 years old, so we go to a baseball game, and where are all the little kids? Where are all the kids at before the game starts? Well, they're all in the potties because they know that they have to get ready for activity. So that's what we want to use the same strategy when it comes to dogs. All right, now the next thing you do is schedule feeding. If you're free feeding your dog, quit doing that. You're going to have all kinds of problems behaviorally with that dog if you don't have a structured, permission-based type of feeding arrangement. So what we want to do is we want to feed them once in the morning and once in the evening. And if you're going to confine the dog for an extended period of time, please don't feed them just before and water them just before and then expect them to not make a mistake. It's not any different than whenever you get up in the morning after you've been asleep, and you want to, that's the first stop you make is the bathroom. The same thing with the dogs. So we're going to make sure that they don't have any food or water, the puppies, 2 hours prior to bedtime. And then we also want to make sure that we get them out immediately after there's been a period of confinement. So those are the things that you need to be aware of on your scheduled feeding and watering. Be fair to the dogs, okay? The last thing would be confinement. And what we do is we teach dogs how to be polite and to be quiet in a crate. Now, crates are meant for purposes of training, in my opinion. We use wire crates. You want the crate to be just about as big for the dog to be able to turn around. The reason being is because dogs are den animals. They don't like messing up their spot where they have to lay unless they absolutely have to. So if you don't give them a whole bunch of room to where that they can go back into a corner in a whole bunch of room, maybe a foot or two, to go back and potty, and then they can lay somewhere else. That's what you come up with when you've got too large of an area for them. So make the crate confined to where that the dog can simply turn around. That's meant for them to go in and to lay, and that way they won't eliminate in their crate. And please let's don't feed the dogs in the crates. That's not a good thing to do. All right. So if you'll take those 4 steps that I just gave you, and we'll just quickly review them. You want supervision. Don't allow dogs to run all over the house. You want to make sure that they exercise them each and every day, and each and every time you take them out to eliminate. You want to make sure you have scheduled feeding, and then also confinement, you know, during the evening hours or when you're not going to be around. You'd want to make sure that they get an ability to go and lay in their crate. Give those things a try. I bet you they'll work. Maybe not all the time, but if you keep it up, it will work all the time. All right? Isn't that what you think, Major? Yep. All right. Good job.